Okay, so I have to talk about this article, which I was sent or I found. I don't know which one right now, but what really irritates me is that there are articles like this that try to start something like out of nothing. Like, I do not think that anyone has kind of thought, let's talk about Kimberly's skirt from Mighty Morphing and how controversial it is and how bad it is and how it's sexist and sexist and it's not meant to. It's like, fuck you type thing. Now, this article isn't going into it, but when I saw this literal title, I was just like, what? Like what? So I'm going to kind of go through some of this. And I feel like this article, and no hate to the guy, no hate, so do not send anything their way or whatever, but just look at this article, right? I feel like this article was done for clicks and views and for people to talk about it, which obviously it worked because I'm making a video on it. So this article pretty much just talks about it, and just the end part of it just generally just irritates me because I don't think that this entire article needed to be written, but we're going over some parts of it. So as this Power Rangers calls out the Pink Ranger's controversial 90s costume. What? Because of one item it had on there. The original Pink Ranger had a skirted costume look that stood out from its peers when its controversial design began now being called out in comic book form. Now, the only time that we've ever talked about a skirt on a Power Ranger has been Izzy, where she literally rips it off and says that she doesn't wear skirts, and that was due to the footage of Rhea Soldier, and that's absolutely fine. Like, I understand, like, you just go, I don't want it, fine. So this whole article goes over and it just says, like, when Mighty Morphin Power Rangers premiered in the 90s, the show immediately became a hit with fans around the globe. But when it came to the Pink Ranger's costume, there were more than a few controversies surrounding it. And now, in a crossover comic event with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the cosmic controversy is directly called out. The first Pink Ranger, Kimberly Hart, as an integral member of the Mighty Morphing interrogation of the Power Rangers team, and is known for the Power Bomb weapon, Pterodactyl Dinosaur, and of course the iconic pink color scheme, often argued as being stereotypical Valley Girl. When it comes to her characterization, Kimberly's skirted Ranger costume has met with similar controversy in the past, as Kimberly is the only person on the team with the design, despite the Yellow Ranger Trini Quan also being female and not having one. So this here is literally what they're talking about. No skirt, huh? Controversial choice. Honestly, I didn't even know that was an option. And then that's it. Literally one small conversation sparks the rest, when literally that's it. Like that is all of it. Yeah. While fighting the TMT villain Slash, Kimberly addresses April O'Neil's Pink Ranger look with a comment. No skirt, huh? Controversial choice. With April responding to Kimberly's jest by saying, honestly, I didn't even know that was an option, immediately turning this quick back and forth into a fun nod to the history of the Pink Ranger. Kimberly is the only one on the team with a skirt because the original Japanese Sentai show, whose footage was repurposed to create Mighty Morphing scenes with the Power Rangers were in full costume. The Pink Ranger was the only woman in the team, thus the only one with a different design than the rest. Skirt or no skirt, there's always been a question. It's never been a question for Mighty Morphing whatsoever. There never has been. The Pink Ranger suffered from more than a few sexist tropes throughout the years, and yet is also remembered as a beloved character for many. Her skirt still acting as a continuous detail in the future of future Ranger designs, all of which stemmed from a fashion choice that technically wasn't even a choice when using the show's Japanese footage, or original Japanese footage. So while the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers brought the fan favorite Kimberly Hart's Pink Ranger to the masses, it also brought along a controversial 90s costume that is still getting called out today. It's not getting called out. Like, this has never been called out whatsoever. Like, I don't see people calling out like Toei going, how dare you make this? How dare you give a Pink Ranger a skirt? the way that I read this entire article, to me, seems like Screen Rant wants to start something. They want to turn around and have everybody who reads this goes, what the fuck? Like, yeah, we need to cancel Toei. We need to tell them that this is not right. So, yeah, pretty much most of the teams have won it. But when you turn around and say this is a sexist trope, I don't think it is. Because at the end of the day, most of the females in Super Sentai really get a lot of respect. And it's not like, oh, you have to wear a skirt. You have to be like, oh, it's definitely a sexist thing that you're wearing a skirt. At the end of the day, it's a costume. And again, if they wanted to change it, and they pretty much did over time. And obviously in Japan, it's a completely different culture. So they may think, okay, this is absolutely fine. Now, if it was something where other things were happening to make this loads of different sexist tropes, then a lot of it would be called out, etc., etc. But when it says here, substantially, the Pink Ranger suffered from more than a few sexist tropes, I don't really see any sexist tropes from Power Rangers. Now, if you have seen them, please enlighten me, educate me, let me know down below in the comments. But I have not really seen that Power Rangers was sexist to do this. We have our first male Pink Ranger in Don Brothers, so obviously things are completely changing. I don't know why all of a sudden they're picking on Power Rangers straight away to be like, oh, this is a sexist trope. This is bad. Like, it feels like when writing this that they thought, oh, we're going to cancel Power Rangers. Let's fucking do this. I just don't understand it. Like, a comment's been made. The footage is there. So basically, is it sexist that Saban, Disney, as well as Hasbro have taken this footage and gone, we have to match this, and done everything they can do? Is it sexist, or is it just something where they followed what Toei has done? Now, I know Toei isn't squeaky clean from what they have done in the past, but I just don't see a problem with this. And again, it just might be from my point of view, but I've never, ever seen anyone in the Power Ranger fandom, when they put pictures of Kimberly up or whoever, that they've gone after and said like, oh, how dare they wear a skirt. So I don't understand why they've made this article because of not even 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words in a conversation. And yet they're like, oh, I didn't even notice that. And then you had to write an entire article effectively trying to call out Power Rangers and be like, this has been a controversy. This has been a problem since the 90s. No one complained about it back then. And again, if you want to try and cancel it, fine. But over a skirt? I don't get it. So yeah, like, this article just really kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit, because it feels like they're trying to cancel Power Rangers, or try and like shine a light that no one has really cared about whatsoever over the years. I've never seen anyone in the fandom turn around and complain about Kimberly's skirt and the rest and stuff like that, when the show has done so much over the course and try to include everything that you can think of. So again, don't know why, but again, don't go after this person. Don't even sound off in the comments. I don't understand. So if someone wants to educate me on this, that's absolutely fine. But I have seen no problem until now with one website calling out about this whole thing. It's never been a thing all the way through the years. It will never be a thing. And again, Japan will probably change everything like they're slowly doing to kind of do different things. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there. What are your thoughts on this? Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.
チャンネルをサポートしてくれてありがとうございます。チャンネル登録、高評価お願いします。以下のリンクから商品を入手することができます。